Hi everyone, I'm Utsav. I'm a program manager at the Azure Backup product group, and today we're going to talk about a new supported workload, which is Azure Blobs, and which will be available for limited public preview in a few weeks from now. The Azure Blob service, as you know, is a highly versatile and a massively scalable storage service that lets you store your data for a variety of purposes, and this often includes a lot of your business critical data. Azure Backup now brings you the ability to perform operational backup for your Azure Blobs. And operational backup stores your backup data in the source storage account itself and uses the blob point in time restore capability to restore your data from a selected recovery point. Hence, this solution offers you a continuous backup, which means instead of an X number of backups a day, you get the ability to restore your data with minimal data loss. So with operational backup of blobs, you get a simple and fully managed solution to protect your blobs across various storage accounts at scale, guarding you against deletion of blobs, corruptions and overwrites, as well as accidental deletion of the entire storage account. Because backup also takes care of automatically enforcing a delete lock on the storage accounts that contain these protected blobs. So now let me cut the chase and give you a quick early bird sneak peek of what to expect from the limited public preview that's coming up in the next few weeks. Before moving further though, I want to bring to your attention the link at the bottom of the screen. It's also present in the description of the video that you can use to sign up for this feature so you can try it out yourself once it's available. Now in this demo, we'll touch upon configuring backup for your blobs across storage accounts, as well as exploring some of the restore options you have at your disposal. So let's get started. And here we are at the backup center, which is that one stop for all your backup needs regarding governing, monitoring, operating, and analyzing your backups. And it's in public preview now. So right now I have my view filtered for Azure Blobs. So let's get started with configuring backups for your blobs. In order to do this, simply start by clicking on plus backup. Next, you're required to choose the workload you want to protect, which is Azure Blobs in our case. Then choose a backup vault with which you want to associate your protected blobs and the containing storage accounts. Now, though the vault would not contain the operational backup data, it is still essential for managing the protection of your blobs. Next, you're required to choose a backup policy. Now, backup policy is typically what defines how often your backups will take place and how long your backup data will be retained for. Now, backup for blobs is a continuous backup, so we don't really need a schedule over here, but we do need a retention. Now, I already see that I have a backup policy, but let me go ahead and create a new production policy for myself. I can go ahead and edit the retention period. Let me let me change this to 180 days. You can also define this in terms of months or weeks as per your convenience. Next, I review and create the policy. And now I see that my policy has been updated. Once done choosing a backup policy, I now need to specify all those storage accounts whose blobs I want to protect. I can go ahead and select multiple storage accounts at once, thereby making it much easier to ensure all my mission critical storage accounts are protected centrally and using a policy driven management. One important thing to note here is that the backup vault that you've selected must have the required permissions to allow protection of the blobs in the selected storage account. And this is one of the things that's being validated here. Once done, Simply click next and proceed to configure backup. You can also monitor the progress of configuring protection for your storage accounts here. And soon you'll see that your deployment is complete. One thing you'll notice is once your backup has been configured, and if you navigate to the storage accounts that you've protected your blobs in, you'll see that all these properties have been automatically turned on. In addition to these properties, you'll also see that backup has applied a delete lock on the storage account to prevent any accidental deletion of the storage account. And here you can see that there are backup instances that have been created for each of these protected storage accounts over here. So it's really as simple as that. Now let's come to the most important part of taking and maintaining backups, which is performing restores. And before I show you how to perform a restore, let's take a look at the storage account that contains blobs that we're going to try to restore. And this is the storage account that we have. Let me browse through to the containers. This is my container, which right now has two files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete file 2. There we go. And instead of this, I'm going to upload another file. Let's make this file 3. And I'm going to edit the file 1. So file 1 says this is a new file. There we go. Let me save that. And we're good to go. Now, coming back to the backup center, here we are. Now let's try to trigger a restore. And just to remind everybody, this is the storage account for whose blobs we're going to try and attempt this restore. So let's select the backup instance, which we just went ahead and modified. Click select, click proceed. Now next we're asked to choose a recovery point. So we just made a change in the files or in the blobs in the container just a few minutes back. So let me try looking for a recovery point a little over an hour back, and we're done. Then we're asked for what are the restore parameters, and in this case, what are the blobs that you want to restore. So we have three options over here. We can either restore all the blobs in the storage account, or we can browse and select some containers that we want to restore, or we can specify prefixes that we want to restore. For now, I'm just going to proceed with restoring all blobs in the storage account. We'll give a minute for the validations. And now that we're done, let's start a restore. And you'll see a toast notification come up informing you about the restore that has been triggered. And in fact, after the restore has been triggered, I can go to my backup jobs via the backup center and see where my restores are. And this is the restore that we've just triggered, and you can see this is still in progress. And a few minutes later, I observe that my restore has now completed. Now let's go back and check what the state of our storage account is. Here we are in our storage account. Let's go back to our containers. And there we go. File 3 that we added a few minutes ago is no longer here. And file 2 that we deleted a few minutes ago is now back in its place. And there was a file 1 to which we edited the text. We added some more text to it. Let's see where we are with that. And there we go. All the changes have been reverted. So really, it's that simple to not just configure backup, but also to manage backups and perform restores of blobs using Azure Backup. And along with everything we just saw, do remember that you can continue to use all the central management, monitoring, and reporting capabilities of Azure Backup when you use it for backup of your Azure Blobs as well. So this brings us to the end of a walkthrough of operational backup of Azure Blobs. Once again, would remind you to use the link in the description and on the screen to sign up for the limited preview. Also, there's a survey link you can see on the screen and the description, and would urge you to use it to let us know what you think about the blob backup solution that is coming out for preview next month, and what other enhancements you would like to see to help protect your Azure blobs better. This will really help us make sure we understand your requirements better and keep improving the product to meet all your data protection needs. There is also some other resources here that can help you get more details about Azure Backup in general. Also, feel free to write to us for any further queries, feedback, or more details. So that's all from our end for now. We'll see you soon. Till then, stay safe and thanks for watching.